Welcome to this tutorial on the 3 calendars available to you in your reservationing system. Firstly, we'll have a look at the availability calendar, the occupancy calendar thereafter, and then the rooming calendar. And we'll see how these 3 calendars are interrelated when making a booking and dealing with a reservation and guest arrival at the property. Let's talk about the first calendar, your availability calendar. This is where your business structure and accommodation availability is displayed. Typical format will be the property and the accommodation types thereunder. Next would be the rooming price, and this price indicated here is determined by the rate that is selected to make a booking. When you toggle that rate, this price will amend. So the availability calendar will display your real-time availability. As we can see along the top, date range, days of the week, and the different accommodation types here. Now we have seen different colors here, and the numbers change as rooms are booked. All these are indicated in a legend. Let's have a look at the legend for this calendar. Here we can see an array of colors and numbers and also an asterisk, and then corners colored out as well, indicating either allocations present or a wait list. Now it's important for the users of this calendar to understand and interpret the legend of this calendar. In addition to displaying the availability, this calendar also has various buttons on which various information can be accessed. For example, your contact database for agents, or go to your occupancy calendar or get a pax count based on this calendar, or perhaps an availability report as well. You can also set the property filters that are displaying on this calendar. You can move back or forward as well. Let's now look at the second of your 3 calendars, the occupancy calendar. The occupancy calendar is basically a reflection similar to the availability calendar with your business structure, accommodation types under properties, and then the actual rooms that have been booked. Again, this particular calendar also has its own legend, and we can access that here, top right, click on legend. And here we can see a different legend to the availability calendars. Once again, important for users to understand and interpret this legend when working on the occupancy calendar. When you're in the occupancy calendar and you have seen particular rooms having been booked and you need to find out who is in that accommodation type, you can simply click on the particular relevant date and block. Doing so will access that reservation or a number of reservations on that particular day. In addition, one can go further and also access the reservation by clicking or hovering over it and then accessing it. Now generally the reservations office will work with both these first 2 calendars, the availability and the occupancy calendars. The third calendar in your system is the rooming calendar. This calendar is geared specifically for the lodges to use and work with data when the guests are at the lodge and also prior to them arriving. All information relevant to a guest's stay can be obtained directly from this rooming calendar. Let's examine this rooming calendar in closer detail now. The reservations are created by the reservations office and automatically will appear in the rooming calendar under the unallocated section as indicated now. From here, by selecting them, one would then be able to room them into different units under the accommodation types. Once selecting a reservation in the rooming calendar, we can then start working with the different functionality in that calendar for the reservations, either rooming, adding guests, adding extras, going to the financials of that particular reservation and having access to documentation, or going back to the reservation. In addition to these buttons, we also have reports on this calendar, and there are two areas. Firstly, the calendar drop-down reports. Let's have a look at those. On this particular day, a day sheet, a PAX report, extras, arrival and departure folios, indicating what the financial position would be on that reservation. Each of these days has reports of the same nature. In addition to the calendar drop-down reports, under the property module, we also have reports specific to the property. Once again, the rooming calendar, as with the other calendars, also has its own legend. Access that by clicking here on Legend. And again, we will see, as with the other calendars, different symbols, colors, and interpretations that need to be known by the users once they are working in the rooming calendar. We hope you found this tutorial on the 3 calendars in your system useful.